way should we be operating?
Well, I think we should have been far quicker to make sure that we had restrictions at the borders, particularly quarantine arrangements. You know, last year I was dealing with thousands of cases of Britons trying to get back to the country when the first lockdown happened from abroad, and they were contacting my office to tell me that there was no testing, there was no advice available before they got on planes, there was no social distancing, and then when they got off the planes, they were just literally left to their own devices, getting onto public transport and have been so slow, and why they're still in this level of chaos. You've got to have quarantine measures. It's absolutely clear. You've got to have testing procedures. You've got to have public health advice. Otherwise, we just can't keep people safe. There are new strains of the virus coming into this country, and they should have been far quicker to act.
But that's that draconian death knell for the travel industry, though, isn't it, Lisa and Andy? Next week or next month, whenever it is, has he got to announce big financial support for the travel industry? Should we be bailing out people up?
But there are particular sectors targeted support. There are some sectors that have been much harder hit by this crisis. The travel industry is one, but also retail as well. You only need to walk down a local high street to see the impact that COVID is having. So I think targeted support is important rather than just a big one-size-fits-all series of measures in the budget next week. But I just challenge you as well, Andrew, on this point about the travel industry, because this has got to be the last lockdown. We've got to make sure that we don't just keep going into repeated lockdowns, and so that's why the caution is needed, because if we get this right now, we can make sure that we're not in this situation again in 2 or 3 months' time. And I'm sitting here in Wigan. It's a part of the country where we've been in almost continuous lockdown since March next year. Our industries here cannot afford more of this, and that's why we've got to be cautious now in order to make sure that this doesn't just continue.
All right, that's Lisa Nandy. She's the Shadow Foreign Secretary in Labour MP for Wigan. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll carry on with that conversation about Meghan and Harry. Lots who want to get involved in the conversation. My view, as you know, you can't have a billionaire lifestyle and keep promoting it and expect to still be parts of the royal firm. 0345 6060 923 is the number. We're getting late to the headlines, forgive me. Philip Chrysikos with those headlines.
Care home residents in England will be allowed to choose one person to visit them regularly from the 8th of next month. They'll be able to meet inside and hold hands, but visitors must wear personal protective equipment and be tested for coronavirus before going in. Research suggests the AstraZeneca vaccine is more effective when doses delivered 3 months apart rather than 6 weeks. The University of Oxford has discovered the drug was 81% effective when patients had a 90-day wait between inoculations. Separately, the Prime Minister is being urged to allow pubs to reopen at the same time as non-essential retail. The British Beer and Pub Association claims they have a community role across England and should be allowed to trade once the most vulnerable are vaccinated. The weather: heavy rain across western and northern areas of the UK, dry, breezy and mild over the east and southeast, a high of 15 degrees.
The fight against COVID-19, Britain's road to recovery.
I just want to know when I'll be able to hug my mum.
Will we be able to go abroad?
How will I know when I can play five-a-side football again?
As the Prime Minister plans to ease lockdown, what are the questions you want answering?
What assurances are there that this is the last time that we won't go into another lockdown?
Can I get a haircut?
I need to get back to work as soon as possible.
When will I get to go back to school and see my friends and teachers?
Will I be able to open my shop I used to?
When can I get back to the office?
This Monday, stay with LBC for the UK government.
Got your mobile, John? Well done.
Hearing your views helps Beer Gardens. Bringing back Boris and getting your reaction. Don't miss a moment. All day, Monday, on LBC.
My name is Roald Dahl. Some of you may know my books.
Daddy.
This is only the beginning of our story.
Fully charged?
Come back to this world.
Yeah, well done.
A true story of Roald Dahl and Patricia Neal.
One gobstopper, please.
Starring Hugh Bonneville.
Delighted.
And Keely Hawes. I think she would have liked it as well. A Sky original to Olivia. Now showing only on Sky Cinema, the home of Sky original films.
It's our Warm Your masterpiece is our get it in one piece. Your it's just never gonna fit. It's our reverse it in bit by bit. And your daily marathon when it's done is our ready to start work and we'll put the kettle on. Because your business is our business. Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles, working with you.
Do you like listening to this channel, John?
Extra. Driver assistance only. Driver must retain control at all times. Many van centres open late for bookings. See volkswagenvans.co.uk for details. On February 23rd.
I find it interesting listening to other people's opinions now and again, you know? I mean, I don't always agree with them, but it's interesting to consider a different perspective, you know?
Big Sky, love Victor.
Are you a little bit tired?
That means so much more drama, thrills and laughs, all at your fingertips, with Star coming to Disney Plus. All these plus more streaming February 23rd. 18 plus subscription required. T's and C's apply.
If you're an EU citizen and were living in the UK by 31st of December 2020, you must apply to the EU settlement scheme. If you miss the deadline, you could lose your existing rights to live and work in the UK. You still need to apply even if you have permanent residence. The deadline is 30th of June 2021. Don't wait any longer. Visit gov.uk/EU settlement scheme and get started today. Irish citizens or those with valid indefinite leave don't need to apply.
It's a perfect moment when you find exactly what you're looking for, when you feel that connection with the one. Finding your perfect BMW 1 Series could be easy. With BMW New Car Locator, you can search, reserve and buy all online, and you can arrange to click and collect your new car from your chosen BMW centre. Meet the one. Search BMW New Car Locator. Subject to availability. T's and C's apply.
You're hearing a revolution that's taking place in Maggie's flat. Thanks to a smart prepaid meter, Maggie can now top up her prepaid credit with the tap of a phone. So instead of going to the shops, Maggie can put her feet up. Maggie's smart meter lets her pay for her energy while saving a little of her own too. Join the quiet revolution. Ask your energy supplier if you're eligible for a smart prepaid meter. Eligibility may vary by supplier and region.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with Andrew Pierce.
Talking about Meghan and Harry and the Queen saying that they can no longer continue, they cannot be half in, half out, and they put out that statement, which was pretty barbed in response, saying service is universal. Tony's calling from Luton. Tony, morning.
Morning, Andrew. Listen, the Queen has obviously done the right thing. You can't be half in and half out, or 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
But the problem with Meghan and the hatred of her, it's got everything to do with her colour.
Who hates her?
Everybody hates her. The media.
Well, hang on. The last two callers, one with whom was married to a black guy. The other caller was a black woman. They don't hate her.
Listen.
And they said they don't. And they said they don't. But they don't agree with what she's doing. But they said that's nothing to do with her skin colour.
Well, you see, the thing is, we've been preconditioned to think a certain way,
right.
And certain things slip off the tongue.
No,
it doesn't matter if you're married to a black person or you're a black person. You've got this idea. It's already imprinted in people's ideas. What a princess should look like, and it ain't Meghan because of the colour of her skin.
I don't think when people see Meghan, Tony, they see a black woman.
I'll give you an example.
Go on.
When Tiger Woods won the Masters, one of the golfers, the first thing that tripped off his tongue was, "Oh, what's he going to choose for dinner? Fried chicken." Very nondescript little comment, but it had a lot of deep meaning that he ended up childhood. Because this thing of like, she doesn't really look like a royal. She doesn't really look like a princess because of the colour of her skin, and that's unfortunate for her.
Yeah, very beautiful woman. I think when people look at her, they don't see a black woman. They just see Harry's girlfriend, Harry's wife.
Trust me, they see a black person.
Okay.
And I think it's one of these things where he's fallen for her. He's been smitten. They've been smitten by each other.
Yeah.
And if he's prepared to give up the royal family for the love of his wife, good on him.
But hang on, what's he given up? He's still HRH. He's still Prince Harry. He's still the Duke of Suffolk. He lives in a mansion. Hang on. He lives in a mansion in California, very nice and warm. So warm he didn't need to put his shoes and socks on in that very stylised photo the other day. And that mansion has only 9 bedrooms and 16 bathrooms. He doesn't appear to have given up much, Tony. He's got a billionaire lifestyle. A billionaire lifestyle.
He's not given up his wealth. He's given up his duties.
No, he's making more. He's making up far more money than he would ever have done as a royal.
Well, in a way, it's even better because it means we ain't paying for it.
Yeah, fine. I think you're fine. we're still paying for quite a lot of his royal protection over there.
Well, probably, yeah, but you can't be in. You'll never not be a royal.
Yeah.
You'll always be a royal.
The fact is, though, Tony, isn't it? I mean, the only reason they're on the Meghan Markle is on the Oprah Winfrey show. It's not because she was in a TV show that most people have never heard of. It's because she's.
I've heard of it. I used to watch that TV show. I watched the whole season. It was called Suits. It was very, very good, actually.
You have to just...
Okay, you grab it and I'll.